you want to learn JavaScript. Maybe you've been procrastinating for a while, maybe you've already tried it and got confused, or maybe you're just starting out and you're like, where do I even begin? I understand, so pause and lean in. I'm gonna tell you exactly how to learn JavaScript fast, and I mean actually learn it. Not just watch tutorials and forget everything the next day, because that's what most people do. And I know because I've been there. I'm Olga, I'm a software engineer with 8+ years of experience in the industry, and I also mentor people who are learning to code from scratch or willing to upskill their technical skills and get hired as a software developer in Europe, the United States, Canada, and worldwide. So I see every single mistake beginners make, and I'm gonna help you skip all of them. Let's get into it. So first, why JavaScript? Why not Python? Why not something else? Here's the thing, JavaScript runs on 98.9% of all websites. That's not a typo. Almost every single website you've ever used, Instagram, Netflix, Amazon, JavaScript is in there. JavaScript was created in 10 days back in 1995, and somehow 31 years later, it's still the most used programming language among developers worldwide. 66% of professional developers use it according to 2025 Stack Overflow developer survey. That's wild when you think about it. Languages come and go, but JavaScript just keeps winning. And here's what matters to you. It's everywhere in the job market. The average JavaScript developer in the US makes around $107K a year. Even entry-level front-end roles start at $50 to $65K a year. And if you're in Europe, in the UK, you're looking at 50 to 60K pounds on average. In Germany, around 58 to 93K in euros, and in the Netherlands around 65 to 90K, and in Sweden around 500 to 700K SEK. And if you learn React on top of that, React developers had one of the biggest salary jumps this year. JavaScript is still the #1 language on GitHub. It's the most used language on Stack Overflow, and NPM, which is where JavaScript packages live, saw 40% year-over-year growth in downloads. The ecosystem is massive and it's only growing. So when people ask me what should I learn first, it's JavaScript. Every time you learn JavaScript, you can build websites, web apps, mobile apps, even backend servers. It's one language that gives you endless possibilities. Now, before I tell you how to learn, I need to tell you what not to do, because this is where most people mess up. Tutorial hell. You know what I'm talking about. You watch a 3-hour course, you code along, you feel like a genius. And then you close the laptop, come back the next day, open a blank file, and nothing. Can't remember anything. That's not learning, that's just watching someone else code. There is actual science behind this. It's called the forgetting curve. The psychologist named Ebbinghaus figured this out over 100 years ago. If you just passively consume information, you forget about 70% of it without 24 hours. 70% just gone. That's crazy. So what actually works? 3 things: active recall, spaced repetition, and project-based learning. Those are fancy words, but simple concept. Let me break it down. Active recall means you test yourself instead of rereading. So instead of watching a tutorial on arrays and going, yes, I get it, you close the tutorial, you open your code editor and try to write it down yourself from memory. You'll struggle, that's the point. The struggle is where the learning happens. Spaced repetition means you revisit things at intervals. You learn something today, you come back to it tomorrow, then 3 days later, then a week later. Every time you recall it, it sticks a little deeper. A lot of people use flashcard apps for this, but honestly, the best spaced repetition for coding is just building projects. Every project you build reuses concepts you learned before. Variables, functions, DOM manipulation, you'll use these in every single project, so you are naturally repeating them. And that brings me to the big one, project-based learning. This is the thing that changed everything for me. Stop following tutorials step by step, instead get a project idea, try to build it, get stuck, figure it out, get stuck again, figure it out again. That cycle, that's how you become a developer. That's actually exactly how I structure my mentorship. Week 1, you are not sitting through lectures, you are building a real project from day one. We use vanilla JavaScript, DOM manipulation, event listeners, arrays, objects, all of it, but through actually making something that works. Because the concepts only click when you use them in context. Okay, I have to address this because everyone's thinking it. What about AI? Can't I just use ChatGPT or Copilot to write code for me? Yes, you absolutely can. And 84% of developers are already using AI tools in their workflow. It's everywhere. And if you're learning to code in 2026 and you are not using AI as a learning tool, you are generally leaving a superpower on the table. But, and this is the part no one talks about, there is a massive difference between using AI to learn and using AI to skip learning. Here's how to use it right. When you get stuck, don't just ask AI to fix your code. Ask it to explain why something isn't working. Ask it to quiz you on arrays, paste your code, and ask what could I do better here. Use it like a mentor that's available at 2 a.m. because sometimes that's exactly what you need. And here's the wild part. Developers who use AI tools complete tasks up to 55% faster. That's not a small number. So yes, learn to use these tools. They're part of the job now. But here's where it goes wrong. The number one frustration developers reported with AI tools, 66% said AI gives them solutions that are almost right, but not quite. And if you don't understand the fundamentals, if you just let AI write everything from the beginning, you won't even know where to start. It's tutorial help, but in a different outfit. You watch a tutorial, you feel like a genius, or you prompt AI and you feel like a genius, same result. Close the laptop, open a blank file, and suddenly nothing. Use it constantly, but build the foundations first so you can actually understand what AI is giving you and catch it when it's wrong. Okay, so here's the actual roadmap. This is the order I learn things if I were to start from zero today. HTML, CSS first. I know it's not JavaScript yet, but you need to understand the structure of a web page before you can manipulate it. Don't spend months here. A week or 2 weeks is enough to get comfortable. Then JavaScript fundamentals. Variables, let and const, data types, strings, numbers, booleans, arrays, objects, functions, how to write them, how to call them, conditionals and loops, DOM manipulation. This is where it gets fun. This is where you make the page actually do things. For this phase, just start building small things. A button that changes color when you click it, a counter, a little quiz. Don't overcomplicate it and don't overwhelm yourself. The goal is to get comfortable writing JavaScript and seeing it work in the browser. Phase 2, level up. Working with APIs, so fetching data from the internet. More complex DOM manipulation, ES6 plus features, arrow functions, destructuring, template literals, spread operators. Basic Git and GitHub. Start version controlling your code early, trust me. At this stage, you should be building slightly more complex projects. A weather app that fetches real data, a movie search tool, something that talks to an API. This is where you learn React. And I'm saying React specifically because it dominates with almost 45% of the market share in 2026. It's what companies are hiring for. Next.js, which is built on React, has become the standard for production apps. Don't jump into React until your JavaScript is solid. I see people do it all the time. They skip straight to React and then they are confused because they don't understand the JavaScript underneath it. That's like trying to write essays when you haven't learned the alphabet. Get your foundations right first, then React will make so much more sense. Once you're comfortable with React, add Node.js and Express.js for backend. Then a database, something like Supabase or PostgreSQL. Now you can build full stack applications, a to-do app with authentication, a blog with a real database. At this point, you're building things that look and feel like real products. And this is where it gets really exciting because suddenly you're not just making things that look nice, you're building actual software. You have a front end, a back end, a database, user authentication. That's a real app. That's what gets you hired. Now let me give you some project ideas because I know that's what everyone gets stuck on. For beginners, I'd say color picker that changes the background, a simple calculator, a coffee order builder, so practice DOM manipulation, arrays, event listeners, and it's actually fun to use, and try a countdown timer. For intermediate, I'd build a weather app using a free API, a movie or book search tool, a markdown note-taking app, or a recipe finder. Finder. And for advanced, build a full-stack application with user authentication, an AI-powered tool that connects to an AI API, and build something creative, a personal portfolio website that showcases all your projects. The key here is to build things you actually want to use. And if you drink coffee every morning, build a coffee order builder. If you're into fitness, build a workout tracker. When you care about your project, you'll push through the hard parts instead of giving up. Last thing, and this is maybe the most important, you're going to feel stupid. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There will be days where nothing makes sense, where you've been staring at an arrow for 2 hours and want to throw your laptop out of the window. That's normal. That's literally every developer, including myself. I still have those days, and I've been doing this for years. But here's what you need to know. There was a Stack Overflow survey that found that almost 70% of developers experience imposter syndrome. 70%. So 7 out of 10 professional developers, people who do this for a living, they earn money with it, feel like they don't know enough. So if you're a beginner feeling that way, just know you are in very good company. The difference between people who make it and who quit is not talent, it's consistency. 30 minutes a day, every day, beats a 10-hour binge once a week. Just keep showing up. So that's it. That's how you learn JavaScript fast in 2026. Active recall, spaced repetition, project-based learning, and consistency. If this helped you even a little bit, leave a like so more people can find it. I'd really appreciate that. And if you're someone who wants a structured path with accountability, someone who actually been through this and can guide you step by step, I do one-on-one mentorship where I go from zero to job ready in 6 weeks. Everything I talked about today, the projects, the roadmap, the job prep, it's all built into the program. I'll drop the details in the description if you're curious, but no pressure at all. Whether you learn it on your own or with help, the most important thing is that you start. Subscribe if you want more content like this. I post tutorials, coding tips, and real talk about breaking into tech every single week. I'll see you in the next video. Go write some JavaScript.